Welcome to ArchRivals Football, sponsored by Raz Energy and Steiner Sports. Here is your starting lineup. Number 20, Darnell the Playmaker Salins. Number 94, Alex the Bearman Alcazaz. Number 69, Ricky the Prez Litwinkowicz. And in tribute to our fallen colleague, ArchRivals Football, Ring of Honor member, Alex Fleming. This show is a Pain Train Pipe Bomb production. Welcome, everybody. Let's see, StreamYard 2. Okay, welcome, everybody, to ArchRivals Football, Season 3, Divisional Round Playoffs Edition. I am currently under the weather, so I am not on screen. Not planned like that, but apparently that's how life goes. We do have our usuals. We have Darnell the Playmaker. What's up, D? And we got the Bearman, Mr. Alex Alcazaz. What's doing, Bearman? And guest hosting on today's show, all the way from Maryland, from the K&K Sports Show, Mr. Kenny Kirkpatrick. All right. Believe it or not, I'll divulge this knowledge live on the air, and for all of our friends out there that know that I am a crazy idiot. Last night, my driver's side axle broke. It is the only working car in the domicile. Oh wait, lost the group audio. So good thing I record this. So I broke my driver's side axle last night, and in hopes to repair it in the hour-and-a-half time slot that it was supposed to be, there was many, many issues. I laid on a cold ground last night, and it legit killed my back and my legs. I do feel like I am partially handicapped right now, so I'm in a lot of pain. I'm not going to lie, I'm in a lot of pain. I am doing this show. I'll be doing the other show later on in hopes that we could just get content out, but good. So hopefully the audio issue got fixed on that lovely little spot.
Well, speedy recovery to you, my friend. And I heard you said axle. I grew up in New Jersey, and I couldn't even pump gas. So hats off to you for working on an axle there, my friend.
It was a very weird experience yesterday, only because I drove out to the brand new UBS Arena to pick up Monster Jam tickets, and couldn't get my vehicle to go over 50, which was an issue. Normally a 35-minute trip turned out to an hour and 45-minute trip. So, yeah. But I'm here. ArchRivals Football, we got the divisional round going on this weekend. 4 great games, 2 days worth of football. Anybody got any words to say before we jump into the matchups?
You ain't spoke yet, so you go ahead and get your head.
Well, I did announce already on Twitter, because in case everybody was wondering, Cowboys Talk, my Cowboys show, there will be no hiatus. There will be content coming out every week. I don't take hiatuses, gentlemen. The show must go on.
I don't want to pat myself on the back, but I was 6-0 last week in NFL picks. So
I think somebody else was 6-0 too. Does anybody know who that was?
I think it'd be you.
I'm gonna guess it's somebody called the Playmaker.
Oh, that would be me.
And yeah, and I already destroyed my team. And I'll be honest, I enjoyed every minute of it because they deserved it. And every Cowboy fan that hates me, that thinks I'm evil, that thinks I'm mean, because, some of them will call me mean, it's justified. You've been silent. There is no excuse. You just know that I'm telling the truth. And what's more is you can't handle the damn truth.
Okay.
See,
which is why Cowboys Nation is a joke.
Here's the thing. Ricky didn't have faith in his Patriots
And he
against the
loves it.
Bills, and Bearman didn't have faith in his Cowboys against the 49ers.
Wait. No. You said the word faith. It's called reality. Once again, I'm going to say this. Beginning of the season, said they were making the playoffs. Outside of them doing anything in the playoffs, I did not have any regrets of them losing in the first round. Let us put this in stone. My hand was on the Bible. The man of God reached his hand down on my head and said, Ricky, have some jokes while you're watching this game. You've already called it. It is signed, sealed, and delivered. There was not one crying towel there, but only from laughter.
See,
God saying, he said, Bearman, you are the only guy that's fearless in telling the truth. You're going to have to tear the team apart more than you ever did before. And God damn it, I did it.
But yet we have 8 teams to tear apart this weekend. So, without further ado, let us get to some games in chronological order. We have Game 1 on Saturday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It looks like the game is going to be on the CBS outlet. We have the Cincinnati Bengals traveling to Music City, Tennessee, for a 4:30 date in the divisional round of the playoffs.
The King is back.
Actually, at this point right now, this is the latest news on the King. They will make a finalized decision on Friday of whether he is good to go for the game.
So tomorrow,
The King is
less
back.
than 24 hours, right, Rick?
In less than 24 hours, we will know the fate of whether King Henry will revisit his throne and kill everybody in the NFL. He will slay the dragon.
I did see him warming up at practice. I think it was on NFL Network, and he looks like he's definitely going to play.
Looks can be deceiving, Candy.
It'd be pleasantly.
No.
I would be.
The King
totally
is
shocked.
back. I'm
Yeah,
telling
he's
you
back.
this now. The King is back. The King is back.
The King is back. All right. I mean, there's been no news of him suffering any ill effects. So, quite frankly, there's no reason for him to not play at all, right?
The King is back.
Unless something stupid happens within the next couple hours.
All right, so courtesy of the Super Draft Pro and the Super Draft Sportsbook, we bring you the game line for this weekend's 4:30 matchup, Cincinnati versus Tennessee. We have the Tennessee Titans as a 3.5-point favorite at home. Obviously, on this show, we do not believe in half points. If God created a half point, he would have made it happen in the NFL, but he didn't. So I am raising the line to 4. So the Cincinnati Bengals would be a 4-point underdog on the road.
Can I say something quick, Ricky, about this half-point business?
Sure.
If I may. See, you say how? Yeah. See, instead of inventing a half point, God invented the half-dotted note. That's what my brother would say. My brother's a musician, so he would say, no, a half-dotted note was invented.
Comic.
All right. Who would like to start off with their lovely little analysis of the...
Well, you're not a musician.
Give it to Kenny. Kenny's the guest, and Kurt's in the chat already picking the Titans.
I'll looking at the stats here. Hey, hats off to the Bengals. Amazing year. I don't think anybody, and hats off if they did, have them to win the not only the AFC North, but to win a playoff game. But now, what do they have? They get to go to Tennessee, who's had a bye. They get Derrick Henry, who's the king is back, as Darnell would say.
He's been hurt for a long time, but he's back.
You know, looking at the stats, but I read it. This one's very interesting. Cincinnati got their first win in 30 years last week. They have never won a road playoff game in their history. And history's made to be broken, but I don't think it's going to be this week. I'm going to take Tennessee with the points. Easily 7-point victory here. I think this may be, you know, it's the first game. This may be the best bet on the paper this week.
Ooh.
I'm going to go Tennessee.
He said about a touchdown. Go ahead, Bear Man.
Well, Cincinnati sort of already accomplished a whole lot already. So, you know, no matter how anything ends for them this Sunday, you know, we can't say that Cincinnati's season was respectable, like I said, because they made the playoffs. I mean, they won their division when, quite frankly, I think Baltimore was overwhelmingly the favorite, right? Was it Baltimore?
Cleveland and Baltimore were definitely
Cleveland
co-favorites.
and
They
Baltimore.
were co-favorites, you would say, very close.
Yeah, because 50% said. Well, I probably would say 60% said Baltimore, 40% said Cleveland. But the bottom line is nobody was talking about Cincinnati, and Cincinnati won the division, and they won their first playoff game since 1991. And now you think everything that's happened since 1991. So, I mean, no matter what happens to Cincinnati, they should be proud of themselves, and they earn some respect. I am a huge fan of Joe Burrow. I mean, he's definitely in for a challenge. You can have a good game, you can have a bad game, but I think Tennessee is going to get the job done. But I think Cincinnati is going to fight to the end, and Tennessee's going to have to deal with that. But Tennessee comes out on top.
I love giving these lovely little integral stats, and I love the fact that Kenny kind of beat me to one. Ryan Tannehill has averaged fewer than 100 yards in the playoffs, 133.5 in the regular season, and 236 regular season yards in the playoffs. So we are kind of looking at the fact of Ryan Tannehill will not be passing the ball very much during this game. Julio Jones has averaged over 105 yards per game in 8 career playoffs. Only Larry Fitzgerald has averaged more since the 70 merger. And the Titans are 5-9 at all-time divisional rounds, 1-3 at home. There are a lot of weird numbers that are going on in this game.
Okay.
I'm going to be honest with you here. It doesn't look history doesn't bode well for either team. It doesn't.
Well, it sounds like me and Ricky, we got to play our game, which we didn't do last week.
I really didn't want to play that game last week.
I didn't think about it last week.
Ricky is tired of playing games.
But
I didn't think about it last week. I actually forgot.
Here is an eye-popping number though that I will give you out there, and I just asked the general nation, who had a week off last week?
The home team.
The Tennessee Titans are 8-0 in games following 9+ days rest in the Vrabel era. Okay. That bodes well for somebody at that point.
And this weekend, they intend to make it 10-0, right, Ricky?
I believe so.
All right.
Oh, you know so, brother.
Joe Burrow or Ryan Tannehill?
I would.
Well, Joe Burrow is definitely the guy that's probably going to throw for more yards.
I would take Burrow over Tannehill, but Derrick Henry over Mixon.
No doubt.
And the Titans defense is going to make a play or two. That's going to be the difference in this game.
All right, so
that's why I have Cincinnati not winning, but they're not going to go away. Like they're going to make Tennessee fight till the end.
If you look at the stats that Ricky posted up there, Burrow and Tannehill both 14 interceptions. So I think you're going to get 1 or 2 interceptions from Burrow in this game.
Where are we going receiver though? We got Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd on one side.
Oh, they're amazing offense. I ain't taking anything away from that offense. Rookie of the year, Jamar Chase. I just think it's a lot. Like I've been wrong about this team all year, so I may be wrong about them again come Saturday. But I just think they're way ahead of schedule, and hats off to them. I just think this is going to be unfortunately the end for them. I personally would like them to win, but for the show, I'm taking Tennessee.
So Ricky is 3-2 Titans. They got Cincinnati gets the quarterback, they get the receiving core, but Tennessee gets the running back, they gets the defense, and they gets the head coach.
I kind of disagree on the defensive part.
To be Cincinnati.
Completely honest with you, I think both of them are just about equal. And here's why. Here's why. I believe it's not the front fours or the front sevens of either defense that are going to determine the game. It's going to be the secondary that's going to determine the game. Obviously, you mentioned quite a few great young players, and you've got on the other side some extremely experienced receivers for the Tennessee Titans. So are we going to go with youth or are we going to go with experience? Again, it's a very complicated ball when you go to throw at it. And I'm looking at another number here that I just found legitimately off the NFL app. Thank you, NFL. At least got to give you a shout out for that. The Tennessee Titans are 0-2 in the playoffs when being the number 1 seed since seeding began in 1975. I can't knock history on this. I am going to go with the Cincinnati Bengals. I believe it's going to be a field goal game.
Picking the Bengals.
I mean, Darnell, you can't deny the fact that Ricky just brought up an amazing point. And Ricky, thank you so much for bringing that because I never thought of that. I wasn't even actually aware of it.
I think the secondaries are going to be the key. I think the younger guys are going to be able to move a little bit better in coverage for the Cincinnati Bengals. The defenses are about even. I give this slight edge to the Bengals.
He's
Slight
going
edge.
Bengals. He's
ask
picking
Ricky
the
a question.
upset.
Let's be honest. This game is definitely a game where you can't ignore the fact that anything can happen, right?
Exactly point.
I got a question for you, Ricky.
Sure.
The O for history in the playoffs on the road doesn't concern you? I mean, these are quarterbacks like Ken Anderson, Boomer Esiason, Andy Dalton. None of them have been able. Carson Palmer. None of them have been able to do it on the road. I know history's made to be broken, and it's just one of those crazy stats. But does that concern you at all?
No.
But he also just said that Tennessee don't do well as number 1 seed.
I think that as much as we want to sit here and we want to pry on some history here, the reality is that Joe Burrow is not Boomer Esiason. He's not Carson Palmer. Okay? Joe Burrow is a unique quarterback of his own.
Joe Burrow is that dude.
Okay, yes, I did say earlier this year that he kind of smoked the cigar prematurely, but Cincinnati looks like that new youthful team that just wants to throw the shit to the wind and hope that it doesn't blow back at them.
It's gonna blow back. I'm sorry. I love Joe Burrow. I love Jamar Chase. I did say open the show. The King's back, right?
And you know what? I think again the weapons.
I'm not betting against the King.
Are totally different. I could bet against the King.
I'm not betting against the King.
I bet with the King last year, and the King kicked me to the curb. Prick. Next up,
I'm hoping I'm wrong.
That's why I'm gonna go with the roll. Next up, we got. Oh, hold on. Why this?
Well, you know what's funny, guys? If Cincinnati wins, Joe Burrow will have more playoff wins than Dak Prescott.
Yes, that is true. All right. Next up, we have the 8:15 matchup on Saturday, January 22nd. Game is on Fox. It is the San Francisco 49ers traveling to the frozen tundra of Green Bay. Green Bay 8 at home. San Fran 6-3 on the road. This should be a very, very cold classic.
So we go from San Fran is playing in a third consecutive rivalry game?
Correct.
All 3 on the road?
Yes. Courtesy of the Super Draft Pro and Super Draft Sportsbook, we bring you the line. Green Bay, a 6-point home favorite. Under over a 47.
Gentlemen, may I ask a question?
Sure, you may.
Could this possibly be the last time we see Aaron Rodgers in a Packers uniform?
No.
Whether it's this game or whether it's the next game, whether it's the Super Bowl?
No.
I think so.
No.
You think so, Kenny?
Aaron Rodgers is winning Saturday night.
I think he either. I think this. Yeah. I mean, I think it is. I think it could be. I don't want to say is. I think it could be.
I'm not saying it's going to be on Saturday, Darnell. I'm just asking. Like, are we about to see the end of Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay? Whether it's this game, whether it's next week, whether it's the Super Bowl, whatever.
Rephrase the question then: is this the last season for Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay?
Is this the last season for Aaron
You
Rodgers?
think is this the last time?
I mean, no. If San Francisco pulls off the freaking miracle, then we don't know. I mean, yeah, I get it. The Packers are the overwhelming favorites, but I mean, I'm surprised.
I'm not-
ESPN has San Francisco at 36%.
That's not the reason why I'm doing that. San Fran had to go to LA to win to get in, right?
Yep.
They had to go to Dallas to survive, right?
Yep, and they did. Well,
Now
I won't
you
say
gotta
they
go-
survived. They
now
took
you gotta
advantage,
go
they
to
took
Lambeau
advantage of Dallas' stupidity and arrogance and being overrated.
And now you got to go to Lambeau Field against the other number 1 seed team, who just came off a bye week. You know what the talk of the week's gonna be. Aaron Rodgers lost to San Francisco in 2019. We got him this year, but it was in San Fran. Okay, this is a team Green Bay needs to get over. Okay, Aaron Rodgers gonna do whatever he got to do to beat San Francisco. Are they gonna blow him out? Hell no. But Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, they will find a way to win this damn game at home.
I mean, John actually just brought up a really good point. He doesn't trust Jimmy Garoppolo's shoulder.
I don't think it's his shoulder. I think it's the hand.
Well,
It's
they
both.
did. No, I think they announced that he had a sprained shoulder. I think.
It is both. He got his shoulder hurt against the Cowboys.
Which would
Can I-
mean there is a very, very large possibility that you're playing dual quarterbacks throughout this game. You do understand this. Unfortunately, it is birthed by fire. But if there are certain things that Jimmy G is not going to be able to do, you will see appearances by Trey Lance in this game. That kind of does pose a little bit of a problem defensively for Green Bay if you've got a dual threat quarterback coming out and a pocket passer coming out. I do see this as an issue.
I don't see Kyle Shanahan doing it.
I do.
I don't.
I think he's been the most creative head coach that the 49ers have had for a while since
He's
a guy
the most-
that is out on the market right now in Jim Harbaugh.
He is, but guess what? How many times has he used Trey Lance this season?
This could be the perfect opportunity.
You'll be right, but I don't think he's thinking that.
I don't doubt anything. This is the NFL, not for long league.
I don't think he's thinking about. Now, if his hand is forced, he's playing Trey, but his hand is not forced.
Well, I'm going to bring out some popping notes. Aaron Rodgers is 0-3 in his career versus San Francisco in the postseason. That doesn't bode well for A-Rod.
I think the first time in 2012 when he lost them in 2012. I remember that in the divisional round.
The Packers have not won a playoff game versus the 49ers since the 2001 wild card round, where it was Hall of Famers Brett Favre and Jeff Garcia. Garoppolo's got a 20-6 record, 796 winning percentage as a starter on a road in his youngest career in the playoffs. We have Rodgers has been 11-9 as a starter in the playoffs, but a lowly record of 7-8 since they won the Super Bowl.
I'm going Green Bay, okay? I'm going Green Bay.
I will. I'll say so. I'm with Ricky. Green Bay's defense is notorious for laying an egg. I'll mention one name: Raheem Mostert. 200 yards rushing that game. Okay, yeah, it's in Green Bay, but cold weather is going to favor a ground attack, and San Fran's got it. Deebo Samuel, they're going to have some gimmick plays. They do, but I like San Fran's defense a little better in here. I would not be surprised if San Fran wins this game outright, but I am definitely taking 6 points in this game. I just see them having some gimmick plays for Deebo Samuel, and they're going to – how do you beat Aaron Rodgers? You keep him off the field. So I just see Shanahan pounding that rock.
And that running game could actually do that, right? Right, Kenny?
Yeah, I believe they can.
See, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but, the fact that you brought up such a good point that sometimes, you're just like, wow, I mean – so I want to make sure that I was understanding what you're saying. It seems like I was, and man, that's – yeah, I mean, San Francisco's running game can't be ignored. I mean, I'm still going to pick Green Bay, but I refuse to count out San Francisco.
You saying nobody can ignore San Francisco. Nobody is ignoring San Francisco. Nobody in hell is ignoring San Francisco's running game. But are they ignoring the Green Bay running game, though? We're talking about Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon
Talk
here.
about San Francisco. What to be concerned about is obviously Jimmy Garoppolo because of his shoulder and I think his thumb. I think he has leg. I mean, I don't know what the damage is on his thumb, but apparently there is some damage, and that's a bit of a disadvantage. But I know San Francisco is going to come with everything they got. I mean, they're not going to lay down to Aaron Rodgers and company. No,
Ain't
sir.
nobody saying that. We just saying
I'm not
Aaron
saying
Rodgers
that.
and Green Bay gonna find a way to get it done.
Just making my point,
They have a
brother.
running game just as much as that San Fran does.
Yeah. So it's going to be a fun game. It's an exciting game.
I think this is going to be a great game. Field goal game either way.
Yeah, I don't know if I really want to try the line on this, and it's 6 points. Unless there's somehow
Bernard just made a good point in the chat.
which is
That's regular season. We talking postseason. This is a whole different San Fran team than
Yeah,
Green Bay team.
Jimmy Garoppolo's already 1-0 against Aaron Rodgers, though. Remember that.
Yeah, and Mr. Aaron Rodgers is determined to even the score.
Again, not saying anything bad about Green Bay's offense. They're going to put up points, but I do not trust their defense in a big game. I don't.
I mean, especially because San Francisco's running game could wear him out.
They've
I mean,
done
not
that in
only
the
did they
past.
wear him out, but they drained the clock.
Yep. Great point.
and I think the new Swiss Army knife in Deebo Samuel is going to be the huge key. Because, again, you don't know if he's going to be in the backfield. You don't know if he's going to be out flanking. He's in the slot. The Deebo Samuel thing does bring a very, very new dimension to the whole San Francisco offense, and that's what got them on this run to begin with. With them losing running backs, they turned him into that hybrid guy like Cordell Patterson is in Atlanta, and it does cause a different issue. You know what? I'm going the dog. I'm going to go San Fran.
Back-to-back underdogs, huh?
And one more guy. Don't forget George. Don't sleep on George Kittle this game. He didn't have a great game against Dallas.
But that's the key,
Expect
though,
him to
is
do better this game.
are they actually going to be able to incorporate him in the offense? The last 5 games, he's not had more than 3 targets in the game. So that may be your hidden sleeper that you have to keep an eye out for.
Exactly.
So, by Ricky's standards, the bye week hurts the team.
Say that again.
You saying the bye week hurts the team?
Yes.
I mean, you get rusty.
Listen. You're not going to come out of the gate. You're not going to come out of the box running on all cylinders if you have a week off. Your first 2 or 3 drives, you're going to look a little sluggish. You have to just remember this: you have the 2 weeks off as a first round seed. Okay. You're not getting actual game shape. Practice is different than game shape. There is a dramatic difference. You're not getting hit as hard.
Right?
The strain is not as much on your body. Yes, you are rested, but then you have to re-wake up all of that muscle memory for the game. San Fran has been playing all the way through. This is why, as much as I love to say that getting the number 1 seed is a blessing because you get a home game, I'd rather still continuously be playing to be in game shape than anything else.
And San Fran coming off some emotional wins. I don't think they can continue this.
I don't know. I think that tide might actually change.
I don't think the emotional wins of each rivalry game can continue. It ends in limbo.
They're a pretty darn good road team. 7-3 now with the win last week.
Yeah. But the team that had the best road record got ousted in no time.
Yes, you do, Bernard, and especially in the cold weather, you do. Believe me, I can tell you that. I've played way too many games in the late fall and the winter to know. I hated it. Believe me, that first hit after having 2 weeks off, that shit hurt. Then again, I was younger.
Ricky's 2-for-2 with underdogs right now.
Weather will definitely take a toll, right, Ricky?
Yes, it will. It will rattle your bones.
I got to stick with my bold prediction. My bold prediction was San Fran
Rodriguez
wasn't only going to beat Dallas. San Fran was going to be this was your underdog to maybe get to the Super Bowl this year. If you were to throw some money on an underdog for those prop bettors, this was my underdog. So I'm going to stick with them and hope they can continue to get that magical run.
All right. Next up, we go to Sunday.
Sunday afternoon, 3 p.m. NBC, Tampa, Florida. The Los Angeles Rams coming off a blowout win over the Arizona Cardinals, facing the defending Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming off their blowout win over the Philadelphia Eagles. Rematch from week 3 in the season. And gentlemen, we can throw week 3 out the way. This is a whole new game with a lot of different personnel on both sides. So, Mr. Bearman, the floor is yours.
I'm actually surprised. This is your team, and you want me to kick off. All right. Well, we saw Los Angeles do what they did to Arizona, and Darnell, I know you loved it, brother. I know you had a big smile on your face sitting on your couch watching Arizona get humiliated.
No, it wasn't really a smile.
No,
it was more of, okay, this is what I needed to see.
Well, all right.
I have bigger plans in place.
Now, I got to ask, now Tampa's defense is still banged up, right?
No, they're getting healthy.
They're getting healthy, okay.
JBP was back for the Eagles game. Levante Davis was back for the Eagles game. Winfield Jr. was back. Carlton Davis was back. That's why the Eagles only scored 15 points.
All right, well, this time there's no excuse for whether it's for Tampa or for Los Angeles. I mean, this is definitely the situation. The better team is going to win big time. Now, this is the game that everybody's excited about. Unfortunately, I might miss it because, I'm flying. I mean, I'll be traveling this weekend. I'm traveling for one day to cover a pro wrestling event, but I'll definitely keep up looking at the scores as best as I can.
And where is that place taking? And where is that at?
It's in Tampa. Yeah, that's where I'll be. I'll be in Tampa on Saturday and fly back on Sunday morning. But this game really interesting. It's hard to make the pick, Darnell. I mean, both teams are outstanding. I mean, there's two good teams, but at the end of the day, only one of these teams are going to the NFC Championship.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I think Los Angeles Los Angeles might actually do it.
They picked the underdog.
I think Cooper Kupp is going to have that game, but I think Sonny Michel is going to have a magical moment too.
He picked the underdog. What? By the way, Tampa Bay's a 4-point favorite.
Actually, no.
Oh, it went up?
Tampa's a 3-point favorite at home.
Oh, it went down.
Yes, it did.
It went down. Okay, Kenny.
I'm looking at the stats. 17 interceptions by Stafford. Don't let that mislead you. The guy takes chances. That's why he's got all them interceptions. Brady, hats off to him. Over 5,000 yards. The guy is an ageless wonder. But I'm going to give you a name. Darnell's going to definitely 100% agree with me. This guy's going to be the difference. Cam Akers came back last week and looked like a monster. Both teams, Rams beat Tampa Bay beat Philly, layover, and the Rams did it against a division opponent, the Cardinals. So evenly matched teams. I'm going to take the underdog here. The Rams went all in. Stafford, Von Miller, Odell Beckham looks good. They went all in for this Super Bowl run. And I think they're going to get the big chance at getting that Super Bowl run and beating the Super Bowl champs, Tom Brady, on the road come Sunday. So I'm going to take L.A. in another close one, like another field goal type game. But I'm going to take the underdog in this one, the L.A. Rams.
All right, Prez, I'm getting nervous over here. That's two for the Rams. I'm getting nervous over here.
I failed to mention Akers and Beckham. I mean, they both look great. I mean, Los Angeles has got a loaded team that's determined to make a difference now. They want the title, gentlemen.
And don't forget, Tampa Bay's run game is hurt. Aaron Jones and Fournette were out last week. So let's see if either of them are.
Yeah, well, they were playing the Eagles. So, I mean, it's not like they really needed them at that moment.
I am going to say this.
That's just how bad the Eagles are.
I am not betting against the GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
I am not betting against Thomas Edward Brady. Although, as a member of the Buccaneers, he has not beaten the Rams. He's 0-2. He has won 9 straight divisional round matchups since 2011.
He's 14-2 in the divisional round.
Yes, he is. This is also the 8th playoff game in the last 30 seasons that opposing starting quarterbacks each ranked top 2 in passing touchdowns. The number 1 has won 5 of the 7 previous matchups.
Yeah, guess who's number 1?
And Mr. Thomas Edward Brady, 43 touchdowns, 12 picks, 5,316 yards. Eye-opening. We also had Stafford with 41 touchdowns, 17 picks, 4,886 yards. So 500 yards more passing for the GOAT. I cannot bet against Mr. Thomas Edward Brady. I am taking the Bucks. I feel like this point
Nick
right
would
now.
be proud of you right now. Nick would be so proud of you right now.
Yes, he would be.
And Nick is probably going to be pissed at me when he because I picked Los Angeles.
And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right now are currently averaging over 30 points per game in the playoffs with Mr. Brady at the helm.
Is this when I bring in some Ramley talk to ArchRivals?
I've been waiting for you to do that all goddamn year.
Yeah, we figured that when we got to this game, Playmaker, we figured that you would do the honors. But I guess you could still do
There's
the
a couple of questionable. No, there's 3 of them. They still wondering about Leonard Fournette, but I believe Leonard Fournette's going to play this game. What is the right tackle for Tom Brady?
I don't remember his name, but I think he's injured.
He's questionable. The center, Jensen, questionable. They both have ankle injuries. Okay. AB, is he suiting up? No. Chris Godwin, is Chris Godwin suiting up? No. So we're relying on Mike Evans, Gronk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ricky, I thought you made a rule that we're not supposed to mention a certain guy anymore.
That was me.
Well, you just broke. Okay, yeah.
You broke the ArchRivals football cardinal rule. You must.
I was waiting for Ricky. I was waiting for
misconduct.
Ricky to actually confirm that you made that rule, Playmaker, and you just broke.
I know I made that rule. I know I
Yeah.
made it.
Well, you made the rule, so I guess you could break your own rule, right?
No, I'm making a point.
Oh, by the way, guess who's not listed on the injury report for this week?
Rob?
Leonard Fournette.
Leonard Fournette. Like I said, Leonard Fournette is going to play. Mike Evans, Chris, and Gronk. Okay. Giovanni Bernard, Keyshawn Vaughn, they built in well against the Philadelphia Eagles. So Jalen Ramsey is going to either take away Mike Evans or Gronk, correct?
He could try.
Okay, we can try.
The Jalen Ramsey Gronk matchup has not been well for Ramsey over his career. Just know that.
Yeah.
Might not be well this Sunday.
Oh, by the way, what happened last time when Gronk played the Rams?
He got hurt. So what was it? A rib injury or back injury?
No, so
that's both.
Okay. So
Brady's got Aaron Donald and Von Miller looking on at the other side of the ball.
So Kenny,
that's scary.
And Floyd as well.
Kenny, correct me if I'm wrong here, okay? Your right tackle is iffy, right? And your center is iffy, right?
Iffy.
You not finna send a double team to the edges, right?
No.
Because who's in the middle?
Mr. Donald.
So that means Von Miller from one end, Leonard Ford from the other end. Because we all know if you do what Arizona did, guess who's coming up the middle right in Tom Brady's face?
Scary.
And then Tom Brady has to depend on what? Rashard Perriman, Tyler Johnson.
Also, remember, though, if you want to throw the defensive sides of the ball back, Tampa just got back 3 of their biggest defensive players.
Yeah, see, if you wouldn't interrupt
Matt
me, you
Stafford would fucking have to worry about.
I would get there, but I didn't ask you to interrupt.
That's what I do, though. Remember,
No,
I am the asshole.
I'm sticking to one side right now. Okay.
Okay.
So in the secondary, they can pretty much play the way they want to play because Tom Brady doesn't have trust in his backup receivers, correct? Now on the flip side, Andrew Whitworth is questionable for this game. Knee and ankle issues. That's a concern because I did say JPP is back. Levante David is back. You still got Ndamukong Suh. You still got Vita Vea in the middle. There's some concern because If we being honest, out of all these teams in the end and still in the playoffs, Tampa Bay's defense is really number one. Okay, let's call it what it is. Tampa Bay has the number one defense. You brought up Cam Akers, correct? Looked it explosive. Looked it good with Sony Michel. But Kenny, I raised you Cam Akers. My X factor is Van Jefferson.
I like him.
You got to focus on Cooper Kupp. And I'm pretty sure Todd Bowles is like, well, OBJ maybe still be OBJ after all this time. So who does that leave? Van Jefferson in one-on-one matchups, either with a nickel or a safety.
And don't sleep on Tyler Higbee.
Tyler Higbee can do his thing too. I'm taking the Rams with the points.
Okay. Finally, because we know Kenny is on a little bit of a short deadline, we move to Sunday Night Football, which is actually not Sunday Night Football. 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on CBS, January 23rd. It is the Buffalo Bills traveling to barbecue country, Kansas City. We have the Buffalo Bills 5-3 on the road, Kansas City 7-2 on at home. Very, very interesting matchup. My boy Jamal, I shouted him out. Congratulations on the game, even though I knew they were going to win it already. We have courtesy of the SuperDraft Sportsbook and SuperDraft Pro. Kansas City only a 2-point favorite at home. Under over 54.
Because if I remember correctly, when these two teams faced up in the regular season, I do believe one team got embarrassed on Sunday Night Football.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
Kenny, go ahead. Because
all right. Well, this game is definitely looks like the toughest one. You can argue and say this is the toughest one. The other one would be the Bucks Rams, but
I feel like this game's more difficult. I don't know why.
I always say you say your best game for the end, right?
This looks like two even match teams. Looks like they got the line right. Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to say this. I am going to be rooting for Buffalo, and I'm going to explain why.
But you're picking Kansas City.
For those who don't know, my co-host K&K is Kurt Valenti, and his wife, they do a high school sports show. Well, Kurt went on air last night on our show and said if Buffalo wins the Super Bowl, they have to win the Super Bowl. He will allow Jen, his wife, to pull the Bills Mafia and throw him through a table on the air. So need to see that. So I'm going to be pulling for Buffalo and picking them every week. But even if I wasn't doing it for that reason, I just think Buffalo, it's got something magical going right now. They looked really good against Ricky's Patriots. I think that momentum's going to shift, and they're going to get a huge road victory and a small slight upset. They're only a 2-point underdog. So a lot of people are liking them, and I'm one of them. So I'm going to take Buffalo and watch Kurt get one step closer to get thrown in that table, through that Bills Mafia table.
Stephen Wallman, if you want to hear my rant, just go listen to my show. Go listen to Cowboys Talk.
Before I get into it, and me and Ricky, Bearman, confident in Kansas City or confident in Buffalo?
Confident in Patrick Mahomes or confident in Josh Allen?
Hey, they both threw for 5 touchdowns. They both went on a scoring tear.
Yeah, because that's the way I see it. I mean, you say whether am I confident in Buffalo or Kansas City, but the way I've been looking at it is, do I need to be more confident in Patrick Mahomes or in Josh Allen?
You want to
I feel like this is a game. I mean, this game is the most brutal one. I don't even know how the hell I can make a pick.
You want to flip a coin?
Bills Mafia. We need to see Kurt get thrown through the table. Come on, we got to go with Kurt. You're a wrestling guy,
well,
Bear. You're the wrestling guy. We got to
what I need you to do, if Buffalo wins, we need in the ECW chance. I don't know if you're a wrestling fan, but
the old days. So ECW, yes.
Listen, the only question I ask is Bubba and Devon going to be there?
Oh, we'll have to invite them.
I'll have to call them.
If Kurt Valentine wants to do it authentically, he needs the Dudley Boys, but it's not going to be cheap, obviously.
Well, his wife is by far the better person thrown through a table.
But anyway, I mean, the Chiefs were not always dominant this whole entire season. They did go through a bit of a struggle, but so did Buffalo. So now we're going to see who's going to. Let's see. I'm not sure, and I don't know what the word is that I'm quite looking for. We're going to see who lets up first.
I don't think there's going to be
part of me
anybody else.
believes that Buffalo's not going to want to. But then again, Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes won't want to, but we have to see how the rest of the team does. I mean, we saw that in the Super Bowl last year. Patrick Mahomes did not stop. I mean, the rest of the team probably quit on him, but not him. But I don't know why, but my gut tells me Buffalo's going to find a way to do it. But Buffalo wants to erase the bad memories of them going to the Super Bowl 4 times and then losing all 4 of them. I mean, that's the main thing about Buffalo. They want that gone. Gone.
Okay. Ricky. They both picked Buffalo.
I am going to
Come on, Ricky. I know you want to see Kurt thrown through the table.
As much as I would love to see that and actually be there for it, because I would be the closest out of the two of us to do it, and then probably have to take him to the emergency room afterwards. I'm going to kind of disagree on this one here. I just saw a very lovely stat that I was not happy with. So, Mr. McDermott is 3-0 at home in the playoffs with the Buffalo Bills.
You sound like a principal, by the way, Ricky. The way you said that you're not happy about it, you sound like a principal.
The Buffalo Bills are 0-3 on the road in McDermott's career.
Really? I haven't heard that stat all week.
Also to the fact being that with Patrick Mahomes at the helm of the Kansas City Chiefs, they do average almost 33 points per game, highest by it's actually the highest by a starting quarterback in history with a minimum of 5 starts. That is the loudest building in the NFL. I don't want to hear anything about it. That could cause
you're right. You're not wrong, buddy.
It could cause a lot of issues. And it just so happens the Chiefs are getting a very, very viable piece back this weekend. And Mr. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who was fully practicing this week. And the addition of Jared McKinnon, the guy that nobody thought would ever have another job in the NFL career after he left the Minnesota Vikings, has been a very, very intricate piece for the Chiefs. Sorry. Could not resist that part.
Please don't make me hungry.
I'm already hungry.
No, he meant to say that.
Me too now.
He meant to say that.
You're torturing me, buddy.
He ain't torturing you. He's torturing Bill fans. Because you know why?
And Bill fans will say the audacity. The Patriot fan still wants to troll us.
I think Kurt and Bearman, I think y'all fell for the trap.
Maybe.
Because you know what the talk's been all week on all these sports shows that get paid millions of dollars.
I mean, the amount of money that we should be getting paid.
Yeah.
Because we tell the damn truth. We don't sugarcoat. We're not BS. I mean, most of all, we're not fake news.
I mean, did you look at Josh Allen? Did you see Josh Allen 7 for 7 against Bill Belichick's defense when they faced off on a Sunday night in Kansas City? Did you see what the Buffalo Bills did to the Kansas City Chiefs?
Which was how long ago?
You don't think Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid is not hearing this all over again?
I mean, it's always surprising the fact that ESPN has Buffalo at 52 while they got Kansas City at 48.
Trust me.
And yet Kansas City is still the 2-point favorite at home.
Vegas ain't stupid.
Loop-de-loops.
If the game was on a neutral field, Buffalo would be the 1-point favorite, right? It's a 3-point swing at home. Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes, Kansas City Chiefs, they rise to the occasion. In Kansas City. If I remember correctly, has Patrick Mahomes even lost a home playoff game?
No.
Nope.
Well, actually, no, that's not true. Were the Kansas City Chiefs the home team at the Super Bowl?
No. I mean, sort of.
Technically, they were because they were wearing their home jerseys at the Super Bowl.
Dude, you can wear whatever jersey
I mean,
you want.
it's a neutral.
Tampa Bay wore their white jersey against Philly last week.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, it was in Tampa too, so Tampa was actually the home team, but it's considered a neutral site, so I don't think it counts.
That don't count.
Even though technically Tampa was the home team because it was in their stadium.
I'm rolling with Patrick Mahomes. Josh Allen, he's gonna fight his ass off, but Patrick Mahomes gonna take it one notch further.
He's gonna remind the world of just who the hell he is, right? Right, Darnell?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Alrighty. So that is the coverage for our 4 games. Obviously, I've picked the 2 road teams on Saturday and the 2 home teams on Sunday. Such irony. I don't know how that worked. Kenny, thank you for being on. I know you guys got to get ready for Wits and Wagers coming up on the KK Sports Show. Throw out some social for that if you can.
Yeah, Wits and Wagers will be on 6 p.m. tonight. If you guys are interested in some, we're doing picks like we just did here. But if you want some player props and some college basketball bets this weekend, come on over and we'll give you some picks. Thank you for having us, Ricky. Always a pleasure being on ArchRivals and all the Pipe Bomb family. Greatly appreciated.
Anytime, brother. Anytime. Kurt, if you're still watching, you're next.
And go Bills, because we want to see Jen get thrown through the table.
Bearman, hit
Jen
him up.
throw Kurt through the table.
Well, yes, Kurt's got to go through the table. Bearman,
I didn't know you didn't say your name. Oh no, you didn't. Somebody saw my title and used it. You saw my title.
Darnell, you got to put catchy titles to get people's attention. I mean, that's what I'm doing with Cowboy Talk, and it's working so far. Especially the one when I went on my rant after they got embarrassed by San Francisco. And Steven, if you want to hear the rant, you got to listen to my show, Cowboys Talk. Look for the episode entitled "Dallas Exposed as an Arrogant and Overrated Team." You'll hear my rant.
all right. Anybody else got anything to say before we sign this ship off?
My new episode of Rammy Talk is out, as you probably can figure out by now, because Ricky wanted to use part of my title.
Oh.
Rams, Bucks. It's a very good episode. I broke it down. I give you X factors. I give you the whole 9 on this one. So check it out on whatever your platform is to listen to podcasts.
All right. Well, this is the first of 2 shows for me today. Thank you, everybody that did tune in. I will be back on later tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with the return of the most dirtiest show on the internet, Pain Train Pipe Bomb, where we will be explicit from start to finish. Melissa Mitro and Missy Gonzalez, my co-hosts, will be with me. We do have a lot of interesting articles tonight, so tune in on the Book of Face, the Tube of You, the Itch with a TW, Twitter, and more. And then tomorrow we have Pipe Bomb Radio. Darnell, I'm starting a half hour early because I have to leave a half hour early. So I'll be starting tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That will be on the Spreaker machine with Flashback Fridays. I am the Prez. That is Kenny from K&K Sports Show, the Bear Man, and the Playmaker. We are out of here. Hey, did you like that show? Like, share, follow, subscribe. Share out our shows to all of your social media. Need merchandise? Check out paintrainpipebomb.threadless.com for quality merchandise at great prices. Tune in next time for another edition of ArchRivals Football, and we'll catch you on the flip side.